Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today it is part 2 of the eBay job lot of broken toys that I got, RC toys mainly. So in the first episode I was looking at a boat, helicopter, a couple of other bits. Now in this one I'm going to be looking at this one here and hopefully this one here. This is part 2. I don't know whether I need to do a part 3 or not. It depends how long it's going to take to fix these two things. So we're going to start on this BMW Z4. This is just one of these cheap RC toys that you would get from just, you know, high street toy shops. There's no suspension on it, there is differential, it looks nice, but I know it's not going to handle well and stuff like that. But to be fair, it does look very nice and sporty. So I'm not sure what controller goes with this one. Process of elimination leads me to believe that it might be this one. This says Newcon, but it doesn't give me any branding on this at all, so I'm not sure. Also, this is 27 megahertz. It doesn't say on this what it actually is. But let's open it up and see what batteries it takes. It says here 8 times 1.5 or a 9.6 volt power pack, and I do actually have a 9.6 volt power pack here, so I might try that. Right, we've got 2 batteries in it already. A little bit of corrosion in here, but not too bad. So that's quite nice the way they've done it there. So it's got like one of these, what I would call a Tamiya connector, but you can also use just normal batteries. Weird thing is that 4 of these equals 12 volts DC, but yet it's saying that I can also use a 9.6 volt power pack here. So let's just measure the 2 batteries that came out of it, see if there's anything in there. No, absolutely nothing in that one. And nothing in that one either, so they are both gone completely. Let's plug this battery in here and see what happens. Let me just measure this battery actually. Right, say 9.4. Okay, it should be 9.6, so this is probably going to be discharged. Let's just see if it's got any life in it whatsoever. Oh, here we go. It says BHS Limited. Okay, so it looks like this was bought from BHS. They are not around, I think. I think they were put into administration a few years ago. Right, so turn that on and let's see what happens. Oh. Ah, I did hear something. I did hear something. Let's turn that off and on again. No. Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do is let's pop some normal batteries in here. It's quite nice the way the exhaust is carried on through the battery pack here. Right, let's turn it on. Okay, I heard a noise. There we go. Steering's working. That's working. Yeah, and there is 2 speeds. Look, low and then higher. You can hear the difference there. Right, okay, well. Oh, look at that, we've got lights as well. You know what, that's a nice looking car. Right, it's got an aerial here, but it's just wrapped around here at the moment. I have actually got a straw somewhere, so I'm going to pop a straw in it. Well, I've only got short ones, I haven't got the long ones. I think these are just 20 centimetres, but it should do. I don't think the range is going to be huge on these anyway. Yeah, that really isn't suitable. I need a thicker one. Right, what I'll do is just for the time being, I'm going to put some tape around the bottom of this just to keep it in place. I'm just going to wrap some sellotape around the bottom of it. Just to enlarge it a bit. Right, there we go, that's not going to go anywhere. Well, I'm just going to rub a wet cloth over it just to give it a good clean up, because it's quite dusty, especially on the inside. scratches and scrapes on, but it has come up pretty clean. It looks like a wing mirror is missing from here. I mean, I probably could give it a polish using some plastic polish, but really, what is the point? It's not going to add any value to it. Essentially, see, these things like this really are worthless. They're not. There's no real market for them. There's a market when they're new, because kids see that in the shop and they think they really want it. But then when they start playing it and they realise that nothing's proportional. So in other words, yes, this has actually got 2 speeds, which is better than normal. But for example, the steering's going to be full left, full right. You can't make little turns if you want. Really, they're, apart from the fact that they look nice as a model, they're not really very good whatsoever. It would be much better to, instead of buying like 3 or 4 of these throughout 3 or 4 years, it'd be much better just to save up and even just get something like a Tamiya grasshopper, something like that you build yourself and you can fix when it goes wrong, because you can buy spares, and they're just much more fun, work much better, and they don't eat up a whole load of batteries all the time. Because you recharge them. Right, let's pop this into the kitchen and see what it actually looks like. I do like the fact that it's got lights. Let me just see if there's anything on the back. No. Why has that just stopped working? Why has that just suddenly died? Weird. Okay. Maybe there is an actual fault with this car then. I was wondering why the seller just... I thought maybe they got the thing mixed up. You know what, that might be just a bit of corrosion. Not sure what happened there. All I did was wiggle the batteries, it started working again. Sometimes if you're unsure about batteries, sometimes if you just do that, then they can make a better contact. You know, if there is a little bit of corrosion, just giving a quick roll can often fix things like that. Obviously, if there's a lot of corrosion, you'd need to clean it more thoroughly. Right, let's get the camera in the kitchen. Here we go. Right, the trim is actually almost perfect, but let's just move that a tiny little bit. Yeah, it does actually go in a perfectly straight line. The lights do look nice. Let me turn the main lights off so you can see them. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, so basically it's more of a moving model. It's very heavy, so you can't do skids and stuff with it. Yeah. It's lovely to look at. It's nice that the lights work. It is a very detailed model. So yeah, like I said, as a moving model, it's lovely, but as a radio controlled car, no. It's it doesn't really feel very responsive. There's a tiny bit of delay when you change, and the very fact that it's not proportional just takes all the fun out of it, because if I want to come along here slowly now, I can't. So, you know, just easing up here, and then everything's always at full speed. And the same with the turns as well. You know, can you see? It just goes all the way. Yeah. But still, look, for £21, it's a bonus that it's working. Bit of a boring part of the video because all I did was change the batteries. I don't really know why this was included in the job lot. Maybe they didn't test all the different transmitters with the different cars. That's all I can think. Right, let's move on to that other one. Okay, so we're going to move on to this one now. Now, I did charge up the battery. This has, I didn't change the batteries in here, but this has definitely got power. And I can't get it to sync up between the two. Now just to show you, there definitely is voltage in this battery. So if I go to DC and go in here, (8.2) or 8.3. That seems pretty high considering it's 7.2, but that says to me that it's fully charged. It says here 7.2 volts DC. Yeah, all the lights flash and stuff, but it's not syncing up. Now, I do hope this is definitely the correct controller, meaning that when I've looked online, these are the ones that go with it. I just hope that this is the one from here. Now, I'm thinking they're all going to be standard because this has got like an A, B button on it. So it looks like you can have two different channels because we've got A, B on here as well. So I'm going to put this one to A. Now, I've had a look online and I can't find any instructions and all the YouTube videos don't show me how to sync it up, which makes me think it's just a case of turning it on and it should sync up. But as you can see, it's not doing anything here. Now this comes out and goes into that side there, so you can steer it with two hands, and there's a little switch here where you can move it. So everything like that, it's definitely been well thought out. And this is Silverlit. Again, I've heard of them as well. So sort of stuff that you would probably buy from Argos, you know, that sort of and you know, high street shops and stuff. But look, nothing's happening there. So let's now turn this off and this off. Let's put it to B, and let's turn this one on first. Let's put this to B. Turn this on. Yeah, so we've got the red light, and now turn this on. But can you see it's not doing anything? So it's not pairing up with this. Now, I'm thinking because this is a broken aerial, maybe this has been dropped. So rather than taking apart the car to begin with, let's have a look at this one here. Well, in fact, I suppose first things first, the sensible thing to do would be to put new batteries in it, just in case. They might be strong enough to get the light to light up, but maybe they're not strong enough to actually power it properly. Oh, here we go, we've got a 9 volt. Which won't come out. Why won't that come out? Dearie me. There we go, just using some plastic pry tools to get it out. I wonder if this is swollen or is it always this tight a fit? There we go. Alright, let's measure this and see what this is measuring. Oh, 6.4. That's well low. Do you know what? That's probably the problem. Let's swap this out. Got a different battery here, and this one is 9.5 volts. Do you know what? I bet you that is that. I bet they turned it on, seen the light on, and wondered why it didn't sync up. But although it had enough power to do the light, it didn't have enough power to do the sync. There we go. I do need to fix something in here anyway, even if this does work. Right, let's turn it on. It's on B, and let's turn this on. There we go. That's it. You know what, I think it's going to be quite fast. Excellent. Right, let's just turn it off and see if the A one works as well. So the idea is it means you can have two of them and play them together without them interfering with each other. Turn that on, turn that on. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so A and B does work. Excellent. Right, okay, let's, what we've got to do, we've got to worry about this aerial here because that's all snapped off. And also, if you have a look in here, let me zoom right in to show you, but actually you can see it from the bottom here. If you have a look, you can see that there's a spring. And what the spring should do is it should always centre the wheels back to middle. Now when you go forward in the car, the wheels will automatically go to the middle anyway, but not as quick as they should do if the spring was engaged. So basically somebody's definitely had this apart because that spring there should be on top. If you have a look up there on top, it's so hard to see because of the reflections and stuff, but on top there's a kind of moulded plastic where the spring goes either side off. So let's take this apart and get this so that when you do this it automatically senses itself to the middle, because for me the car looks much better with two wheels at the front rather than this gimmicky thing. Okay, so now you can get a clearer picture of what's going on. That spring needs to go in here and here. Like that, and now let's get this back in. Oops. Yeah, that's there. Put these in. Now I think, yeah, there we go. If you have a look now, can you see? It pushes it back in. Now it can't be too strong because otherwise the motor is going to struggle to move them over, but you can see now that that goes back in. It's just a very simple way of doing it, but it looks like it works. Now let's have a look in here and see what's happening with this. It might not be one of those ones that you can unscrew. It seems to be kind of really held in place there. So some of them you can just, like let's say this now, you can just unscrew that. And then it's easy to replace. But that might not be one of them. Right, okay, that does look, oh no, it's not a screw one, is it? It's got that thing at the bottom, but it does look like it is replaceable. Okay. See, that's the inside of it there. You can see when you turn that it springs back. So it says VR for variable resistor, but there's 3 contacts in there. So looks like a potentiometer. That must be, is that to do with the coil? You know, to get the signal in. Oh no, actually, sorry, we've got a crystal here, haven't we? XR. But yet there's 2. There's A and B. Would the coil be used for one and the crystal used for the other? Or I wonder if there's a crystal on the other side of this. Do you know what? I might just take this off just to have a quick little nosy. Oh, nice. Okay, and that's the trigger there. You can see moving up here. But I can only see 1 crystal on it, yet it does 2 different frequencies. Okay. I mean, it's a clever idea. I suppose now you don't need this anymore because everything would be on a 2.4 gigahertz. So I don't know how that works, but that can choose numerous different signals. I think hundreds of different signals. Well, with this, obviously, if you had 3 cars, all 3 wouldn't be able to play together because you can only choose 2 crystals. 2 frequencies, sorry. Yeah, okay. Right, so I'm not sure how it can choose between 2 if there's only, I was expecting to see 2 crystals. So this is, I wonder if there's any way now that I can get one of these off some other controller or something, because I've got quite a few broken up controllers. Maybe one of them will have something similar. Let me have a nosy round. Okay, so I've had a look around the house and I haven't got anyone that's similar, because this has like a moulded piece on the ends that allows you to screw through into the actual body of this itself to make it nice and secure and onto this antenna wire. But if you have a look here, so this is the one from the little BMW Z4. Can you see that ends in a female? So it looks like there's at least 3 different ones. There might be more for all I know. If you have a look at this one ends in a male. Now I've had a look on eBay, and yes, you can buy them, and they're very cheap. They're about £1.99, £2 or £3, sometimes £4 or £5. They're not a lot of money. But the ones, I haven't spent long looking, but the ones I'm looking at that have this end, the ones I've seen so far are 7mm, and this seems to be 5.5mm. So do you know what I'm going to do? At this moment in time, this came in the box, which is no good. It doesn't work with anything. Yes, I might be able to use it at a future date. If so, it's no problem. I can buy one of these, because these are very common with the male and female ends. It's these that are less common. If you know what you're looking at, I'm sure they're still very common. I'm just talking about just quickly looking on eBay. But right now, to get this up and running, what I'm going to do, and I think it will be a lasting repair, is I'm going to keep the shaft of this, and I'm going to put this into it here. Now obviously, when you go to extend it, yes, you can hold this and pull it out and it will work fine, but you know somebody's going to do that and it's going to come straight out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down lower, and I'm actually going to tape this onto here. I think I've got some copper tape. I might use that to keep, it's going to keep continuity anyway, because remember, this is all, it's still acting as a normal aerial, because this is in contact with this, and this is in contact with the wire here. So it's all going to have continuity anyway, because if you listen, you see if I go here and here, you can hear that even if it's fully extended, at the very top to here, there's still going to be continuity. Yep. So it doesn't matter that it's not going to be a brilliant connection there. As well, what's the range of this going to be anyway? It's not going to be working 2 miles away, so I'm sure you're still going to get up to 30 or 40 meters, or whatever the range is anyway. So what I'm going to do is, rather than having that rate just there, because then you're going to see the tape, I'm going to cut it down here, and then I'm going to wrap round tape around it. Now I'm not going to use any specialist tools or anything. I'm literally just going to use pliers, and I'm just going to cut straight through and then straighten it up afterwards, like that, and that way it will also give me a nice snug fit. Now I know this is a bodge job because you can just buy the proper aerial, but remember, these toys are not expensive, so if I can get away with spending no money on them, I would rather do that. Right, okay. So it's going to be like that there, and that's going to be hidden in here. Let me take this up now. Right, so I've got this slug tape that I don't think I've actually used yet. So this is basically copper tape. So I'm just going to wrap loads of revolutions around this, and I'm not sure if it conducts through the adhesive or not. I don't know. In fact, let's see that just out of curiosity. See if it does still conduct through the adhesive. Mind you, these points here are really sharp, so they're just going to go straight through it. Let me just do it loosely. No. So really, there's no point in using that, is there? If it doesn't conduct through the adhesive, which it's not going to. Yeah, so that's not really going to make any difference. it might look like more effort's been made, but I might as well, in theory, just use you know, cloth tape or something, some very strong tape. Anyway, now I have this out, let me put some revolutions around it and see what it's like. Right, let's see if that's going to hold. Definitely. That's definitely going to hold. Yeah, I'm well happy with that. I think that's come out well. Put the sticker back on. Right, I think that is done. We'll give it a quick clean. Or do we even need to clean it? This is going to be an outdoor toy, so I don't think we need to clean it. I just want to double check that it is definitely proportional. So let's turn this on here. Ah, I've got this in wrong. Okay, turn that off. Oh, that's annoying. I thought that was in right, but it's not. Look, she can't go up that way. Alright, let me take this apart again. Oh, that's nice. They've actually done that so you can line it up perfectly. Look, can you see the little arrow? Because obviously this is the forward travel, and there's only a tiny bit of reverse travel. Because, you know, when you pull this here, can you see it goes a long way there, but not very far up the other way. So before I had it right the way down there, so it was up here, so it was permanently in reverse. So you just line it up with that arrow there. It's nicely done, isn't it? Little touches like that are good. There we go. Before I put it back together, I'm just going to see if it is working. Yeah, it appears to be working. Right, okay, now it's back together. So now let's see what's happening here with this proportional steering and stuff. Yeah, it is proportional. Not massively though. Well, it's very much off to one side. Do you know what? I've obviously, I should never have taken that board apart the second time. I need to take it apart again because this is not centering, is it? That's not right. Those wheels are incorrect. Right. Okay. I'll I'll take it apart again. You know, now I'm going to have to put new sticky tape on this as well because this isn't going to. I don't think this is going to stick the third time. Right, so I presume this little these little teeth here have to be perfect. So I've lifted this up now. So this is going to go there, all the way to there. So it doesn't look like it's going this way enough. I just want to see the extremes of it, and then I can work out which is the middle. Oh, of course. All I have to do is do this thing so it's perfectly straight. Now this could be how you could adjust it if it was ever so slightly wrong. You know, if the trim wasn't doing enough, you could adjust it from here as well. So you can see now that that is in line with that there. I think maybe a little bit more this way. No, too much. Right, so that's there. So now when we put this down, we should have equal travel both ways. But we haven't. It doesn't go that way as much. Well, maybe it does. Let's see how that works. Where's that thing just come off from? Sorry, I was zoomed in. This thing's come off from somewhere. Not too sure where that's come from. Right, let's put this dead in the middle. Right, so it seems to be turning that way more than that way, so I think I need to move this ever so slightly round. Let's see what happens now. There. Now. There. That's it. That's the one. Okay, let me close that up now. Let me see if the accelerator's working. Yeah. Turn that off and turn this off and try not to move anything. Now I wonder where this thing here went. Can you see there we've got a wide and then a thinner thing, and if you have a look this is wide and thin. So I'm pretty certain it goes in there like that. And it must, I don't know, it must just keep a bit of pressure down or something. I don't really know why you would need that. Yeah, I suppose it makes it more secure, but I don't know. I'm not sure if that really makes any difference or not. Right, okay, we are done. So now let's have a look at the steering. Nice. And accelerate. Small, more, full. Okay, let's take this out in the garden and see what it performs like. Right, excuse the mess in my garden. It's obviously the time of year where all the needles and leaves come off the trees. But look at this. Nice bit of donut in. Woo! And, I mean, obviously this isn't real proper off-road terrain. Let's see if we can get out of this now. Go on, go on, go on. Yes, it can. But it's pretty rough there. There's no way the BMW would do that. I'll tell you what, that's okay. It hasn't got the power. It hasn't got the power of, for example, even just like something like the Tamiya Grasshopper. But for a toy grade thing, it's okay. That will have a. It is playable. Right, let's put the different front wheels on and see if it behaves any differently. Right, now let's see what this looks like. Oh, it does behave differently. Oh, it's less grippy. Sorry, I mean it's more grippy. It doesn't, the corners are not as tight. See, it drifts more than donuts. Actually, do you know what? I know it is just a gimmick, but it does actually make it handle quite a bit differently. I'll tell you what, let's see if it can go off-road at all. As in the grass. Let's see if it can go on grass. Just about. Oops. Yes, it can. Wow. Yeah, it's alright. I'm not saying it's good, but it's definitely alright for a toy. And remembering I paid £21 for the whole lot of these things. Yeah, I think that turned out to be quite a successful little job lot. Let's finish off the video by lining them all up on the kitchen floor to see exactly what we have. Here they all are. And everything that I could get working is now working. So obviously I can't get Action Man to work because the wings are missing. There's nothing I can do about that. Dr. Octopus or Octavia, I can't make one of those tentacles. So again, he can't be fixed. But everything else I've got working. So the ambulance, just a broken back door and flat batteries, sorted out. Boats, just a dodgy on and off switch and also missing a controller there. Now remember that controller is working back to front, so left is right, right is left, forward is backwards, backwards is forward. So I will have a look around the house to see if any of my other controllers work with it, but if not, I've had loads of helpful suggestions on a part 1 video telling me that because they're a DC motor, just swap the polarity around on the wires feeding the motor. So for example on the servo, if I've got the reds go into the left side, the black go into the right side, all I have to do is swap them over and then left will become left, right will become right. Same with the motor feeding the propeller, I only have to swap them over. So yeah, that's something I will be doing. Now I know I said that I would be showing you that working on a boating lake. I don't know the legalities of just going to an empty lake in the middle of somewhere where there's loads of ducks and people walking around and stuff like that. I don't know whether you have to go to a special place, but I've looked up a boating lake and there is one near me. Well, not near. It's not far. The problem is there's going to be a hell of a lot of traffic and there's definitely going to be parking issues. So I know I said I would show you that on a boating lake. I will be taking it to a boating lake, but I won't be filming it. So yeah, just take it as read that that does work. You've seen it working in the boat, in the bath. I just need to swap the wires around and then that will be working perfectly. And yeah, phone just needed a replacement lead. Helicopter, what did the helicopter need? Nothing really, just the weights sort of sticky taping back onto it and charging up. The car there, again, nothing wrong with it, just needed new batteries and also the little spring at the front needed sorting and also the aerial on the transmitter that needed fixing. And this car here, nothing at all, it just needed a wiggle off the batteries and that came to life. So yeah, is it a load of junk or not? In my opinion, no. I would pay £21 for the boat and the car alone and I would be happy with that. So to get that thrown in and for example the phone thrown in, I think it's worth it. Is the phone worth money? I think to the right person, yeah, I think somebody would probably pay £15 for that phone. I could be completely wrong. I think somebody would pay probably £15 for the boat and I think somebody would pay £15 for that. But then again, what do I know? I could be completely wrong. I'm not going to be selling these on at the moment anyway. I'm definitely going to be using the boat and I'm definitely going to be keeping the car. So yeah, it is still junk because it's not really worth a huge amount of money. If you count my time going into it, it's definitely not worth it. But remember, I make the money from the adverts in the videos. So for me, it definitely is worth it. And personally, I find it fun. Although they were very simple fixes, they were still all had something wrong with them. And I reckon anybody could pretty much do what I did if they just spent a bit of time and if they just had a little bit of patience. You see that most things are fixable, especially when it comes to low value items that somebody hasn't already cherry picked all the easy fixes first. So that is it. I hope you did enjoy part 1 and part 2. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe for more trying to fix videos. Take care. Bye now.